For example number 4, notice that I start out with a 2x squared again, and based on the information I got from my other example, I know that I can write with confidence that this is a 2x and an x, based upon the factors of 2 only being a 1 and a 2. I'm not going to write a t-chart for that anymore. However, I am going to go ahead and write a t-chart for 20, because there's not just one set of factors this time. I could have 1 and 20, 2 and 10, or 4 and 5. So this time I have 3 possible combinations to think about. I still know that both factors are positive because they have to multiply to be a positive 20, and I also have a positive sign here. So I know that my factors are both positive. So I'm going to start trying things out. I'm going to get my pencil out here, and let's look at the factors of 1 and 20. If I put a 1 here and a 20 here, again, I know I have plus signs for sure. I'm going to get a 1x and a 40x. Well, that's way off because I need these to add to 13. So I know that 1 and 20 in those positions does not work. What about if I switched them? What if I put a 20 here and a 1 here? Is that going to work? And now if I look at it, I have a 20x and a 2x, that's 22x. That's still too big. So I can say that 1 and 20 don't work. And I'm going to move to my next pair, 2 and 10. Let's think about 2 and 10. If I put a 2 here, plus 2 and plus 10, I'm going to get 2x and 20x. 22x is not 13. What if I change them and I put 10 and 2? Well, now I have 10x and 4x. Ooh, I'm getting closer, but that still doesn't work. So 10 and 2 in either location is not going to work for me. So I can cross that set out as well. Finally, we come to 4 and 5, and this one should be the right one, the right set. I know that these are both positive, again, because I have positive signs between all of my terms. If I put a 4 here and a 5 here, 4x and 10x is 14x. That doesn't work. So finally, my very last thing that I try, my 6th combination, in fact, 5 and 4, I get 5x and 8x, and 5 plus 8 is 13. So this is my correct factored form. On this next one, notice that I have some negative signs. So I'm no longer going to be able to say that everything is positive. I can say, though, that my front terms are positive because I have a 3x squared. I know I must have a 3x and an x, and those are positive. But let's look at factors of 5. I have 1 and 5, but one of those needs to be positive and one needs to be negative, so I need to determine which one goes in the front parentheses, which one goes in the back parentheses, and which one has a positive and a negative sign. So let's take a look here. If I do a 1 and a 5, let's first try putting a negative on a 1 and a positive on the 5. Well, that's going to give me a negative 1x and a positive 15. Definitely not negative 2. What if I switched the signs and made this one positive and this one negative? Now I have a positive 1x and a negative 15, also not negative 2. At least I got a negative now. I've got a negative 14 though instead of a negative 2. So let's go ahead and try switching the location of the factors and put the 5 here and the 1 here. And if I try a negative 5 and a positive 1, I get negative 5 and a plus 3x. So negative 5x plus 3x, that does give me my negative 2x. So that is my final set of factors. I don't need to try the positive and negative signs in reverse because I found it before I had to try that 4th combination. Okay, problem number 6 is kind of similar. I also have a negative sign in that one, so I know that one of my factors is going to be negative. Why don't you pause the video and try this one on your own, come back here and see how you did. All right, for factors of 9, I went ahead and did a T-chart. I know it's not a big T-chart, but it's just going to help me visualize and notice that I crossed out a set of factors that I determined was not the correct set. So when I tried 1 and 9 in the front, 9 and 1, so putting the 9 in the front and the combinations of positive and negative, so that's 4 different things to try total, none of those worked. So I narrowed it down to, it had to be the 3 and the 3. There were 2 possibilities here. One could have been that the negative sign was back here and the positive sign here, but that one didn't work. And finally, I got the correct answer because I had negative 3 times x gives me a negative 3x, 2x times 3 gives me a positive 6x, and 6 plus 3, or 6 minus 3 is 3. So I got my middle term there, and so this is my final factored form.